Hello everybody, I hope you all are doing well, and welcome to Prehistoric Kingdom. In today's video, we're going to be looking over every single animal available at Early Access launch, and today we are on the UK map, which is one of the 3 maps available at launch. This map's biome is temperate, and as you can see, this map is very, very massive. Like, every map in this game is huge, but like, wow. Yeah, I think these are easily like twice as big as the maps on Planet Zoo. I thought that's understandable because you're dealing with animals that are way larger. So the way that this is divided up with these incredibly safe exhibits that I built here, the way that this is divided up is by star rating. So we have our 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, all the way down to 5 stars. And without further ado, let's get started. So first and foremost, of course, we have our mini exhibits. First up, we have Microraptor. Let's see. Let's go look at one of them. Ah, yes, nice and shiny. This one's preening. Let's see if there's one that's climbing around. Yep. Very cool. So we have our Microraptor. This is one of the first mini exhibit animals shown. And then up next we have our Archaeopteryx. Sorry. Let's track this one down. So we have a sleeping one here. Let's see if there's one that's flying about. How about this one? There he is. Gorgeous. I love that this one has like a little purplish hue to its feathers. Even with these mini exhibit animals, some of them have individual variation, which is really cool. Alright, so those are our 2 mini exhibit animals. Alright, moving on to our first exhibit animal, we have the Psittacosaurus. So this one here is Psittacosaurus mongoliensis. You have Psittacosaurus sibricus, which is the largest of the 3. And then you have, let's see. Here we go, Psittacosaurus sp. This is the one where we know like what color the animal was from the well-preserved specimens. But yeah, very cute. One of my favorite like starter dinosaurs. It's worth mentioning that we're not going to see every single skin because I only put male animals. I didn't put any females except for one. But a lot of these skins are sexually dimorphic. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And yeah, on to our next animal, we have Dryosaurus. So we have this one. We have this beautiful green one. I love the blue hue on its face. And then we have, where is it? A feathered one. Nice and floofy. I kind of like, if you look at the tail details, like the scaling on the tail of this animal, like reminds me of like Calinda dromaeus, the way they designed it. It's really cool. Alright. And on to our last 1-star attraction, we have the Protoceratops. So, if you saw earlier, the Psittacosaurus has quills on its tails. The Psittacosaurus sp and Psittacosaurus mongoliensis. For Protoceratops, what they did instead was they gave it more of like these dermal scales that kind of form like this quill-like structure on the tail. So, within the realm of possibility, I think it's really cool. Let's look at the next one. So we have this green one, we have this one over here, and then we have this one. I think this one's probably my favorite of the 3. Another thing to note is that every time you select an animal for the first time, you'll get a nice little message from Nigel Marvin teaching you a fact or 2 about the animals. I have that disabled for this video because I'm just showcasing the animals, and but we'll definitely, I might do like a video with each voice line that Nigel Marvin says. Alright, on to our 2-star attractions. We have the Nasutoceratops. And this skin in particular has a change where like now it has a female variant, but this animal's been with us since, I want to say since Alpha. And we have this one over here, Wildberry. Oops. And then we have, I believe this one's called Mint. This one's having a little sleepy sleep. On to our 3-star animals. First we have Styracosaurus. this one. This one is having a little nap. And then we have this one over here. Definitely my favorite of the three. The Styracosaurus design is pretty interesting. It has these kind of like porcupine-esque quills on its back, or like these scales that kind of come up as a point. And that's entirely speculative. We don't know if they had stuff like this or not. I think it's really cool that it helps it kind of like stand out amongst the other ceratopsians. Moving on to our next 3-star animal, we have Pachyrhinosaurus. So we have our woolly Pachyrhinosaurus paratorum, I believe, the one from Prince Creek. And we don't know if it's not very likely that they were covered in filamentous covering like this, but I still think it makes for a cool design. And then we have the larger P. canadensis. Of the three, this one is my favorite. I love the design and the coloration on its body. And then we have this guy. You know, it's not entirely my favorite. I love the details of the frill, and then the way that the red kind of like splotches out. Alright, so on to our next 3-star animal, I believe. We have the Torvosaurus. So Torvosaurus is interesting because we have two species. We have the Torvosaurus teteri. I don't know how to say the other one, but I know it's the larger one from Portugal. So we have him. Here's the other teteri skin. This one is sexually dimorphic. And then we have, here we go. You gotta wake up. But this is the Portugal specimen. The way they set these apart is, on top of it being bigger, it doesn't have the durable spines that Tannerai does. But yeah, really gorgeous animal. Alright. On to our final... no, we have another 3-star attraction. We have a mammal this time. This is the woolly rhinoceros, or Smilodon. So we have this one where it has like this splotch on its back. I believe this is based on cave paintings. Someone in the comments can correct me here. And again, this animal is pretty unique compared to modern day rhinos. It's related to like the modern day Sumatran rhino. It looks a lot like a white rhino, but it has its horns are much more like flat. And let's see, let's go to the next one. So we have this one. It also has like a dark marking on its back. And then you have this one, which is based on more like traditional recons. But man, do I love this animal. In general, I just absolutely adore how like the feather and the fur looks on all these animals. It looks so realistic, especially with the way that it moves as they move. And he's dead. Anyways, on to our next 3-star attraction, we have the Camarasaurus. Now, this is a Camarasaurus supremus, lentis, I believe, and then grandis. Now, in terms of like anatomy, they're all kind of the same, just different sizes, but I do love that they offer like a very unique gradient of sizes, as well as each skin is very, very different from the other. Yeah. And so, onto our next 4-star attraction, we have the Smilodon. So this is the North American Smilodon fatalis. Oh no, you don't. You're gonna wake up for us. Yes. Look how beautiful that fur looks. And I love that this one has like a bit of a reddish hue. They're very fast. These animals can run very, very fast compared to like a lot of other things in game right now. So we have our Smilodon fatalis. And then we have, let's go on to the next one. We have our first Smilodon populator skin. This is the South American species. So we have Smilodon populator. We have this one. This one's definitely my favorite. It reminds me a lot of like the Smilodon from Prehistoric Park, so I can see myself using this one more often. And once again, absolutely adore the way the fur looks in this game. Alright, next animal is Lambeosaurus. So we have big old cosmic. This is the one that's just larger than the other two. We have chestnut. I still think like out of all my hadrosaurs, Lambeosaurus is still the favorite. It's still my favorite in terms of like design and everything. Such a beautiful animal. And then this one's in particular is more of like a reddish hue. I absolutely love that because like again each skin can come up with like a lot of genetic variation. So like some of them will look a little brighter than others. There'll be a little bit of color variation between each of them. And this is one that's more like has that more like beautiful vibrant color. So I quite like that a lot. On to our next one, we have the Edmontosaurus. So first off, we have our Edmontosaurus regalis, the one with the comb on its head. See him honk. See, even now, like the little nasal area kind of inflates when it honks. It's really nice. I have the little one. This is Iguanodon, so the Edmontosaurus from Prince Creek. And then we have the Edmontosaurus nectans, the one from Hell Creek. Yeah. Very beautifully done. Alright, on to our next, of course, our attraction. We have the Iguanodon. As you can see here, we have the green one, the orange one who's having this little sleeve, and then the last one is based on, this one's called Burian because it's based on some paleo art, by a paleo artist named Burian. So yeah, very beautifully done animal. I also love these feature scales that they added. So these are more of like a speculative feature. They're not the same as osteoderms because we know Iguanodon didn't have these, but the these are more in line with like the scales you would see on like the back of the other hadrosaurs. It's very cool. I feel like it helps it like stand out more and give it more of like a I guess a rugged look, if that makes sense. The Iguanodon also has a unique digging animation which we saw in the trailer, so that was really cool. I don't know if we'll see that here. Alright, on to our next 4-star attraction. We have the Deinocheirus. This one is definitely one of my favorite dinosaurs of all time. It's so like so bizarre looking. We have this one over here. We have the other one. This is the other feathered one. And then we have a naked one, or one without plumage. Reasoning behind this. Wow. It's definitely one of the coolest sounding dinosaurs in the game. Yeah, the arms are still a little wonky though. Need some work. Yeah, the reason it's naked is same with like the T-Rex. It's not that even larger. Styracosaurus may have had less like feather covering. So I'm glad they included this interpretation, but I like both of them. And on to our last 4-star animal, and another one of my favorites. We have the Acrocanthosaurus. Oh, he's having a little scratch. Yeah. That was one of the coolest ones in the game. We have that one. We have this skin over here. And then we have this is like the original Acro skin, just revamped. Yeah. The reason I've always loved Acrocanthosaurus is because it's a Texas dinosaur, I'm from Texas. And the Houston Museum, they have this beautiful skeletal mount of the Acrocanthosaurus, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. But yeah, Acrocanthosaurus has always been one of my favorite like large theropods, so I was happy to see it being added to the game. And speaking of large theropod, up next we have our first 5-star dinosaur in the vid, Tyrannosaurus Rex. We have the classic leather hide, which in one way or another has always been a part of like Prehistoric Kingdom's history. Like, so seeing it like in its final form like this is pretty great. We have the other, I believe this is Molten T-Rex. Just looking at the guests, totally not gonna eat any of them. And then we have the feathered Brumal Rex, which everybody seems to love. In a way, I feel like, interestingly enough, like, not to look down on the other skins, I feel like this is the one that feels the most, like, scary or terrifying. There's just something about it that just seems more, like, sinister. And then, of course, we have the Asian Tyrannosaur, Torvosaurus. That's cool. Let's wake him up. Really cool that we have both species. Alright. And next up we have the Parasaurolophus. So we have Parasaurolophus walkeri, classic. We have the Camarasaurus species. I don't remember how to say its name. I do know that this animal is the smallest currently. However, I believe there is some new evidence suggesting that there may have been larger ones. That it may have been much larger than we previously thought. So I don't know if they'll change that or not. And then we have the Asian Tyrannosaurus. This one's definitely my favorite of the bunch. I love that like blue and pink hue. And well, it looks like we have an escapee over there. Don't worry, we'll fix that. Next we have the Triceratops. So this is Triceratops horridus. Very cool dinosaur. Now they did take some liberty with like the frill, in terms of how the frill looks. However, the skin impressions on the body are pretty much spot on. So I mentioned the Houston Museum earlier. They have this huge display of like fossilized Triceratops skin, and this looks almost like a one-to-one of that. Pretty great. They really outdone themselves with this animal. So we have this one right here. This is the blue Triceratops, or this is the Triceratops horridus. And then we have our Prosa skins. We have this one. I'll move him over here. Better look at him. We have this one. And we have this green one. So definitely the green one is my favorite Prosa skin, and then the blue one's my favorite horridus skin. Wow, what a loud boy. Alright, and this one somehow escaped, but our next animal, our next 5-star animal is the woolly mammoth. So we have they're not all species per se, but they have we have the base mammoth, and the black one's supposed to be a little larger. And then we have the smaller one, which is based on like the Wrangel Island mammoth, so it's much smaller. Yeah, if you know me, elephants are my favorite animals of all time, so I've always been in love with this particular animal as soon as it was introduced in beta, and they've added a lot of new calls and behaviors. I'm especially looking forward to when these they add like herding behavior and whatnot. I think that'll be especially great with woolly mammoths, just having like a huge herd of them. But yeah, of the three, these are still going to be my favorite mammals. Wow, and they all sound fantastic. Alright, we're almost done here. So up next we have the Brachiosaurus. Whoa. This was recently introduced right before early access, but we have this skin right here. We have this more like classic looking skin, and I brought the female variant of this animal because like to me this one looks just like the Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park, so I can definitely see myself using this a lot. Then we have the this is based more on like a previous Prehistoric Kingdom design. Yeah, it looks so good. I love the spots on the bottom here and how they transition from the tail. It's very interesting, very unique design for the animal. And I think this might actually be the first time we have like a Brachiosaurus in media that's actually based on Brachiosaurus, because most Brachiosaurus you see, especially in like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, the skull shape is based on Giraffa Titan. So this one's actually based on the North American Brachiosaurus altithorax. So that's really cool. And last but not least, we have the largest animal in game, which also might be the largest like dinosaur and largest land animal to ever live, the Argentinosaurus. So we have this beautiful green skin. I think this one's probably my favorite. No, I think I like all of them. We have the banded neck skin, and then we have this one over here. Yeah, it's especially unique among sauropods. I love that they incorporated the osteoderms that we see in like other species of Titanosaurs. And wow, just when you're like standing next to it, you see just how like massive this is. You see this person here, just wow. And that's how big it is just laying down. It's also cool, like Let me bring this guy over here real quick. Interesting. I guess we can't really place him down. What we can do is move you a bit. I wanted to see like a little size comparison. So this is Argentinosaurus, next to the largest mammal in game currently. Yep. Jeez. I mean, this is especially going to be more noticeable when we have like if like Parasaurolophus ever gets added. It'd be really cool to see next to Argentinosaurus, because this thing just dwarfs like everything. And of course there's one more animal that we must not forget about, and it is the Dung Beetle. Let's roll down over here. There he is, rolling his poop. Obviously this isn't an exhibit animal, or this isn't you know, it's not rated anything, but it's gonna be number one in our hearts because he's just so darn adorable. Let's see, where did he go? I think he's gonna pop out around here. There he goes. Aww. And then he just rolls and rolls and rolls. And bam. So yeah, that's every animal that you guys can play with at Early Access. I'm looking forward to what everybody builds. I'm definitely going to be building a lot of like zoos on the gaming channel once I have a little more time, of course. I'll be doing live streams every Friday on both the main YouTube channel as well as Twitch, so be sure to check those out. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video and you were looking forward to seeing more like Prehistoric Kingdom related content from me, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and also subscribe to my science channel, Nature's Compendium, where I'll be doing more animated videos related to dinosaurs particularly. I'll even like incorporate some gameplay footage with yeah, I'll be incorporating some gameplay footage with my animation, so I think that'll be really cool. As always, thank you for watching.